Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are talking about Wendake from Placentia Games and Renegade Game Studios. Plays 2 to 4 players, and it takes about an hour to 2 hours, probably a little bit closer to 2 hours. And in this game, players are playing tribes of the Native Americans in the Great Lakes region. And throughout the course of the game, what you're going to be doing is spreading out some of the workers in your tribe in an effort to gather resources and take over areas, and to score on one of different 4 scoring tracks. And the core of this game is its action selection mechanism. You have a series of 9 tiles that will get randomly distributed, and you can upgrade throughout the course of the game, and you have to take actions that are aligned in a line, either it's up, down, left, right, or diagonally. And as you take the actions, they'll flip over to their opposite side, which if it will turn into a somewhat less useful side before it flips back over, and we'll get to how that affects the gameplay. So you have a number of different mechanics. There's going to be some action selection, some resource management, and a little bit of area control. Things I really like about the game does make a big point of its action mechanism. It refers to it as being a really innovative and unique mechanism. Depending on how you feel about it, whether you think it's particularly spectacular or not, it is really different. And so you have these action tiles that you'll be upgrading, and they'll flip over back and forth throughout the course of the game. And since you have to line them up, you will get locked into some of the actions that are aligned with the actions you really want to take. So it does create some interesting short and long-term strategies. So I want to take this and flip it over and have it not available to me on next turn, or long-term, how am I going to have my action selection upgraded? So it creates a very new type of strategy to think about in the game. And similarly, the scoring mechanism is really interesting because you have these 2 tracks, and each of them has a pair of different scoring tracks, and you only get the lower score of the 2. So you have to pay attention to all of the different scoring options available to you in the game and try to keep them reasonably balanced so that you can get a good score. And the game does have a lot of variability to the setup. The action tiles that you have available for upgrade, these progress tiles that you can buy, which lets you take some free actions that are pretty great, and even how the scoring tracks are paired will change from game to game. A few things to consider about the game. The game does have a bunch of modular components. So for example, the map has the 2 sides to the map tiles, and you flip them over and connect them together, and then you have a scoring track and another mask track. There's a bunch of pieces that sort of can come apart pretty easily if you bump the game. It's also a Euro game, so the iconography is a little bit mystifying, doesn't make a lot of sense, so you have to reference it a lot throughout the first few playthroughs. And the upgrade tiles are interesting, only to an extent. They're basically variations of some of the actions you've already taken, which makes them easier to learn, but how they're put together or paired is a little bit random in terms of how well you can use them. So, in summary, it's a constantly shifting with a really interesting action selection game that makes for some interesting challenges, and balancing of score. Just recognize that some of the iconography is a little hard to understand. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment and subscribe.